to dress for winter running and cross-country skiing, we're going to start with the top and go all the way down to the bottom. So I'll start with my hat. It's a wool hat, and you want to make sure your head is nice and warm because a lot of your heat will escape through your head. So keep your head warm. The next piece is, I think it's called a buff, I'm not really sure, and this one's made out of fleece. You can get them in different fabrics, and it's just kind of like this. And when when you're running and it's cold out there, you want to keep your neck warm, and then you can pull it up and keep your chin warm too, like that. Then the next part is your core. You want to keep your core the warmest, and the trick to that is layering. So I'm going to show you the 3 layers that you need to keep when you're doing outside running or skiing in the wintertime. The next part I'm going to show you is keeping your core warm, and that's the real trick to winter running and cross-country skiing. So what you want to do is you want to have 3 layers, and I'm going to show you the 3 layers in just a sec. So the first layer is the base layer, and that needs to be either wool or some breathable techno fiber. It has to breathe. You never should use cotton because you are going to sweat, and you want that sweat to wick away from the body. So merino wool is the best. This is a base layer from Costco. It wasn't terribly expensive, but really good because you want the water not to stay right next to your skin and get clammy. That's the real key. The second layer, now I cheat because I don't like to get cold, so I use 4 layers instead of 3. So this is my second layer. It's just a regular techno fiber running shirt. This is from Army Run, and most people won't say to do this layer, but I just like to be really warm. The second layer actually should be for warmth. So your base layer wicks the moisture away. Second layer is for warmth. So warmth, you want wool or you want like fleece. So this shirt that next thing that I'm putting on is fleece, and again Costco, so it wasn't terribly expensive. Doesn't have to be, but again, fleece will also not keep the moisture right next to your body, so that's important. And then the last layer is your outer layer, the outer shell, to keep the wind off of you. So I just use a regular old running jacket. I have another one that I use also, but this one's a little better color coordinated. And I've got my 4 layers on. I've got the base layer to wick the moisture away, the warmth layers, the 2, and then I have this outer shell. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, besides my dog, is running pants. And you don't have to have fancy ones like this, but if you do, it's really nice to have. The idea is, again, if you're not going to have the fancy pants, you're going to have a base layer, and that's just like a regular, I don't know, a synthetic. So again, wicks moisture away. And then the top layer needs to be able to keep the wind off of you. So these running pants, they have a different fabric in the back, which is warm. It's kind of like a fleece. And in the front, it's got this panel that's all wind protected. So that's what you do for pants. All right, so now we're going to talk about footwear. So the first thing you want to do is have a pair of merino wool socks. And they don't have to be particularly running socks, but merino wool is the best. It's warm, it's light, it will keep the water away from your feet. And that is the problem with winter running, is your feet get wet and cold. So for me, I just use my regular, like the first pair of running shoes I ever got, because they have a thick sole and they have still a lot of tread. A lot of people, if they want to keep the moisture out, keep the wet out, because this is porous, they'll cover this whole upper part with duct tape. So you can do that. You can buy fancy winter running shoes, or just wear your regular shoes.